Thank you very much, Derek. Yeah, this is our fifth 1 hour training. It's good to see that all of you still come back and tune into this particular session on the 8 success principle on how to get from where you are to where you want to be, especially on the Saturday. And of course, Saturday during MCO, ECQs, or the circuit breaker right now in Singapore, everyone is at home, but many people still will choose to spend their time on other aspect of their personal or their professional life. But to have you all down into this afternoon session is really an honor for me, in a way for me to share some of the things that I've learned over the last many years as an entrepreneur, and also as hold on, is my video on? My video is not on, right? Okay, all right. Yeah, like I mentioned that this Saturday for you all to be dialing in into this particular Zoom call, whether you're on Facebook Live or Zoom, is really shows a commitment from every one of you to want to grow as an individual. Like I mentioned last week, our income would never supersede our personal and leadership development. And I hold this particular principle very strongly because I do not come from a very well-to-do family. I come from a very poor background, and I do not have high education. Only along the way, when I start to engage myself on an ongoing personal development, this way, it really given me a hunger for wanting to have more. And when that started to happen, I began to search for knowledge, and that was my beginning of my journey to get from where I was to where I am right now. And of course, it have always been said that success is the journey, it's not a destination. What is important is not what we get as we move along life journey, but more important of all, I believe that is what we would become at the end of that journey. So when we talk about setting goals, when we talk about having a vision and a dream categories that we are setting for ourselves and our family and for the people around us, we are not just talking about the achieving. To me, the becoming is more important. In the last 4 weeks, as we have done this particular session, I also have revisited many of my goals, many of my dreams, and many of my vision, and start to realign and start to actually rewrite and start to actually dream bigger again. And in the process of it, as I shared last week, I've been as an entrepreneur since 1986, which is 30 over years old, 30 over years. And in that particular journey, it have never been actually a smooth journey. Sometimes up, sometimes down. I have built several businesses, some successful, some not so successful, some I failed miserably. So, but the key things here is that as we fail, as we move and make progress in our life, we learn along the way, and that is the very, very important fundamental in terms of learning. That every one of us here can learn. That is one of the biggest assets, and the biggest room in the world is the room for self-improvement. And by engaging yourself this afternoon is really a big thing for you. And I want to congratulate you for taking that step in terms of personal growth. So last week we did a session where we talk about the power of visualization. So this week we're going to talk about taking massive action. How to take massive action to get from where you are to where you want to be. And the first session that we covered was taking 100% responsibility for our life and for our results. And this is so important. This is the core success principle that I value so much, because if you were to look around us, many of those losers, those people who are not successful, they always will look for opportunity to make complaints. They'll look for opportunity to actually blame it on other people, but they never take 100% responsibility for their own life and for their own results. So we have to stop blaming, stop giving excuses, and never complain. Or rather, you complain it to the right channel. So in this particular principle, we talk about act as if you are 100% responsible for your life and for your results. I know that this can be sometimes very tough for some of the people to handle this particular statement, especially when talk about COVID-19. How can I take 100% responsibility? This is the people who actually created it, is the people who actually are very irresponsible that spread the virus, or or you may have a certain health challenge right now, and you say that how can I take 100% responsibility as I was born? Like I say, I have this sickness, and I never have even have a chance to actually improve my health and well-being. So taking 100% responsibility for your life and your results, act as if you are 100% responsible for your life and for your result, irrespective. So one of the very good things to attitude to actually subscribe to is uh, be positive irrespective. And this is what I learned from the famous Amos, who was down here in Kuching, and I have a good chance to meet up with him. His favorite quotation is be positive irrespective. Be positive irrespective of whatever situation and circumstances that you're facing right now. So that is a very good attitude. And at the second training, we talk about decide what you want, envision your ideal life that you want. What do you truly want? What do you truly want to be, do, and have? Assuming that everything is possible, that you can dream as big as you wish to. And it's just like we are just trying to send our request to God, and God say, just give me whatever request that you want. I will grant it to you. What would that be? So who you want to be? What do you want to do? And what do you want to have? Dream as big as you want. Make that decision and be clear about it. And we did that. And the next one is principle number 3. We talk about unleash the power of goal setting. It's talking about how to turn our dreams and our vision into measurable goals. How much by when? We got to have the intention, and we have to be very objective about it. How much and by when? And all top achiever, they do have big dream, big goals, and they always make it measurable. So we talk about using the SMART goal concept to actually set your goals. And the fourth session, we talk about the power of visualization, how to use it to advantage to create the success that we want. It's talking about the image that you put in your mind. It's talking about the programming. And as I walk you through to some of the exercises, like getting you to imagine that you are now at one of the tallest building in the world. You know, even though you are not there, by just visualizing, you have that type of squeezy experience on the stomachs, like your hands start to sweat, and you feel the wind hitting your face, and it was very scary, but it was not there, but it was just imagination. The question is that how do we use visualization to our advantage? Science have actually proven, studies have been done about basketballer that they just do visualization, they are able to get results without going to the basketball court to do the practice. So can you imagine this? If you start to visualize and you start to actually practice, we are going to get far better results than the rest of the other people. So today we're going to talk about taking massive action and be rewarded with actions. The universe will actually reward you with your action. If you're not going to do anything about it, nothing is going to be happening for your life. And it would be a destiny that you choose whether you do or not to do to achieve the results that you are going to achieve. It has been said like where we are right now is a result of the decision that we make, the action that we took in the last 5 years, in the last 50 years, in the last 20 years that got us arrived to where we are right now. So it's so important for us to make a decision on how do we get from here to the place that we want to be by taking massive action. So my question to you this afternoon is that we have covered 4 sessions, and all a very pertinent question. Is also challenged me to upgrade myself and start to do many of these important sessions again. And my question to you is that have you taken any action? Not even have to talk about taking massive action. Have you taken some action? Can you put on the chat here, have you done so? I'm not sure whether I can see the chat. Can Danny or Derek, can you try to put on the chat there and see whether it works? Have you taken any action? Or have you taken massive action? Argue, you may want to try to do that. Or the setting of the chat is not set up for everyone to do to put on the chat. I'm not sure, but I don't see any chat down here. But the question that you have asked yourself is that have you taken any action towards what you have learned in the last 1 month? The reason why I say this is very important. I have been a training provider since 1987. As a training provider, we provide training solutions for a lot of people, for personal and for corporate. And we have brought in a lot of experts, a lot of gurus, a lot of successful entrepreneurs to teach success principle, concepts, and ideas and management. And one key things that I learned from the last 30 over years as I'm an entrepreneur is that all those principles that were taught are potential power unless and until you apply it. So it's very important. Even today, I really, really want to encourage you to go back to the last 4 videos and actually learn and actually take some action or take massive action to be rewarded next time. All right. So next question that I'm going to ask you here is that I'm going to ask you is this. Can you see these particular slides? There are 5 frogs on the lily pad. And what I'm going to do is that I am going to actually mute you all, one person at a time. The question that I'm going to ask you all is that since we cannot do the chat, I will do the unmute, right? Can I ask you a question? 5 frogs, 6 on the lily pad. One decided to jump off. How many are left on the lily pads? Can any one of you, one by one, shout out how many are left on the lily pad? 5 frogs on the lily pad. One decided to jump. How many are left on the lily pad? 4. Who else?
5.
Who else?
5.
Who else?
5.
5. Who else?
5.
5. Who
Still
else? 5. Anyone else? Very good. I hear some 4. I didn't hear any 3. Of course, mathematics will tell you that if I ask a question in the class, that if there are 5 frogs, if 1 jump into the pond, 4 will left, right? So many of you actually on this particular Zoom call did say that there are still 5 on the lily pad. I think the 5 is the correct answer because here we talk about the 5 frogs on the lily pad and one decided to jump into the pond, only make a decision to jump, but they have not jumped yet. So there are still 5 frogs on the lily pad. So this is a very important story here for us to understand that in our team, including ourselves, many of us actually do make decision of wanting to do something, think about wanting to do something, visualize about wanting to do something, but never take any action. So if you don't take any action, nothing is going to change, nothing is going to happen. The 5 frogs on the lily pads will remain at 5. It's not going to be 4, it's not going to be 3, or it's not going to be none. In some of the seminar that I did, some people said, oh, 5 frogs on the lily pad, one decided to jump, all of them jumped because of herd mentality. But 5 is still on the lily pad. They only decide, but they have never taken any action. So this is a very, very important principle. Here we talk about previous session. We talk about setting 7 dreams and vision category in terms of your financial aspect of your life, your work, your career, your business, your free time, fun time, recreation, health and fitness. And we talk about relationships in terms of your loved one, extended family. We talk about personal and your spiritual goals. And the last aspect of it is making a contribution, leaving a legacy. And especially on the number 7 is something that would actually inspire me a lot, especially being able to think right now of how and what can I actually leave behind for my loved one. What do I want them to remember me as? And like I say, legacy, making a contribution. If you do not have a charitable organization that you are having, you can always actually join a volunteer organization. I've always promoted volunteerism and volunteer leadership. Volunteer leadership means that you are, as a leader, you work hard, you volunteer. A leader, you don't get paid. So that is volunteer leadership and volunteerism. You can also join the Advancing Life of ASEA, where they make contribution in Cambodia and many parts of the world, in Mexico and all those places. Just join them, make a contribution, make a difference. And this is one very important vision and dreams that you can set for, right? So take action towards going back to set some of this dream and vision and start visualizing it. Set measurable goals by when, how much you're going to achieve what you have set for down there, and take massive action. All right. Okay. What you see in front of you here is a picture of me building a better you. Building a Better You is a book that I've just written that was actually last year. And it took me 25 years to put together this book. I know that many of you would have the same situation like me. You dream of wanting to do something, you set goals, but you never follow through on your goal. And it took me 25 years. Imagine this, I have a dream, I set a goals, I write down in my goal books down there that I want to write a book. And the book title is called Building a Better You. And it took me 25 years to put together this book. And it's not a very thick book. It's one portion of this particular books. And here, to demonstrate the question that, to demonstrate what we are teaching today, I'm going to ask you who want to have a copy of this book. Since we cannot type me, can I just unmute everybody who want a copy of this book?
Me. Agil want one.
Agil.
Danny
Who else?
wants 5. Danny wants 5.
Danny wants 5. No problem.
Agil wants 6.
Agil, no problem. I'll send you 6. We have 27 of us here. When I said who want a copy of this book, some of you may be thinking, you know, how much do I have to pay for this book? This book, actually, I'm selling for 45 ringgit, all right? So I said, who want a copy of this book? The key exercise here is that I am asking who want this. You know, in the what's called live seminar that I did, more often than not, you see a lot of people will be sitting down there like they're paralyzed, you know, they want it. Even better too, I would actually put in 100 ringgit notes down there and say that who wants this? My book with $100 ringgit in, on the book. And many of them are actually stunned, paralyzed. They want to get up, but they don't get up. It's just like frog decided to jump, but they never jump, right? And some of them say, why should I go? I already have the money. Some people will say that, why should I have that book? I don't think that there's nothing that I can learn from that book. So there are many, many reasons that people would not take the action. And guess what? Whatever decision that you make in terms of responding to an exercise like this would very likely be your decision in terms of doing whatever that you're doing. Be it like you are building the ASEA business, you would also give the same excuses. Some people said, I already have a book, I don't need to have another one. Or I can buy the book later on, I don't have to have this one for free. So whatever reason it is, like I mentioned, it will be the same reason that likely you're going to bring along with you in terms of whatever things that you're doing. So very important is that always act positively. If you want to get something, you got to act. If you want to be a diamond, you have to act upon it. If you want to do, you want to learn about public speaking, you have to start standing up there and start to do very basic introduction. You want to learn piano, you have to start to learn the notes. Like I want to learn guitar. And I always think that learning guitar is not easy because it's very painful, especially on my finger. But if I have that type of thinking, I will never start to learn. So I have to say that I want to get started to learn very simple chord, maybe 3 chord or 4 chord to start to sing a song. And this is very important principle, take action. And for those of you who say you want a copy of a book, I will send you my e-copy. In expect my e-copy, if not in production, but as a result of today's session, I will produce the e-copy so that I can send it to you. And I only need your email address, or you can find me at pohtedangang.com. And all the videos that I've done on this particular session would also be uploaded on my YouTube channel as well. All right, very good for those people who participated in this particular session on who want a copy of my book, right? So taking massive action, what is this all about? Is working on the most important things in a focused and concentrated way, all right? And here, this is very important to take note of. A lot of people thought that like taking massive action, I need to, I need something that is huge, you know, to focus and concentrate. I need a lot of money. Like some people would sit down there and say, I want to take massive action in terms of my career and my business. And they thought that to start a business, I need to have a lot of money in order to be able to take massive action. Otherwise, you can't. But the new normal that you see right now, like what I'm doing on the Zoom right now is to me something that is massive. Massive in the sense has never been seen before in a way like if there is no Zoom, right? Now because of Zoom, everybody can start to have their TV station. Like what I'm doing right now, Derek Chiu have been very kind to put me on FB Live, and I'm already actually like having a TV station broadcasting, you know, my message to the world, you know. And it's not talking about Poh Ted Ang, who live in a small little town in Kuching in the middle of Borneo Island. And I'm only being able to influence and impact the people in my own village. But no, even though wherever you are, you can be in Ranau, you can be in Long Lama, you can be in Kapit, Ulu Kapit. And today you have the internet, you can actually broadcast it to everywhere around the world. And that is one of the ways that you can take massive action. So working on the most important things that you have set for in the 7 area of your life in a very focused, it's just like you take a magnifying glass. And if you were to move around, you will not be able to concentrate and stay focused. You never to be able to get the ray and shine in on through the magnifying glass in order to be able to burn the paper underneath the magnifying glass. So science tells you that you need to focus as well. So concentrate way over an extended period of time. It's not just a short 100-meter dash or 400-meter dash. It can be a 10-kilometer run, 40-kilometer run, marathon run that you have to consistently, you know, taking the action to achieve what you want. So never give up. Never give up on the dream. Some people give up their dreams too fast. When they are faced with a little bit of challenges, they give up. So don't give up, right? Don't give up too fast. There are 2 key factors that would help you to create massive action. Number 1 is that you have to think big. Like what we mentioned, like what we share in seminar number 2, training number 2 is that it doesn't take you to think a big dream or small dream. It takes the same efforts for you to dream big or dream small. So might as well you dream big, right? So thinking big, dreaming big, you know, what do you truly want to be and do and have? That is number 1 factors to get you to take massive action. Why I say this? If today your goals is just, I want just to become a director 300. So chances is that you don't need any massive action. You just have to just take a little bit of action. But if you say that, you know, I want to be a diamond, I want to be a double diamond, I want to be like a Derek Chiu, I want to be an ambassador double or even better than him, ambassador triple diamond. What do I have to think? What do I have to do? What do I have to have? What I need to think? And when you start to think big, the resources will come to you very easily. And suddenly you see that there will be a lot of resources that come into your mind. So, and number 2 is that you need to follow through on your thoughts. A lot of people have dreams. A lot of people have think big, but they just think. There is an input, but there is no output. You know what would happen when you always have input and no output? You eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and you don't go to the toilet. What would happen? You have constipation and you got to fall sick, right? So think big and follow through. Garbage in, garbage out, you know, so you got to take action, all right? So the next slide that I'm going to share with you here is that we mentioned that if you were to think or dream big, there is an inner GPS system, that is the global positioning system, or rather I choose to have what we call the God positioning system spiritually to guide you, to get you to from where you are to as big the dreams as you wanted to be. Along the way, there will be resources that are going to be provided for you. You don't have to worry how to do it. You just have to know what you want, and step by step is going to be unfold. Just like today, if you want to go from point A to point B, All you have to do is take out your mobile phone and start to key in the address of where you want to go. And you know that the GPS system will start to, with the satellite, to look at where you are right now and do the calculation and bring you to the destination safely. All you have to do is to trust your inner GPS system, is to trust God positioning system to bring you from where you are to where you want to be. So you have to be crystal clear about and be consistent in terms of focusing on what you want and the how will show up. So it's a very easy concept, and I trust this all the time. All right. So here, this gentleman, I think most of you may have known him, or I'm not sure how many of you have attended a seminar by Anthony Robbins. You may want to shout out if you attended a seminar by Anthony Robbins. Anyone? Danny? Agil? Anthony Robbins said the path to success is to take massive, determined action. You need to take massive, determined action. You have to be very persistent about this. And Anthony Robbins is one guru that I learned a lot with regards to taking massive action. I still remember I attended one of his seminars. That was way back in 2009. It was at the Expo, Singapore Expo, in the month of September, I still remember. The title of the seminar is called Unleash the Power Within You. Unleash the Power Within You. And that particular seminar have attracted thousands of people. And I was so shocked to see that there are around more than 5,000 people that are attending that particular seminar. And he's able to be on the stage there, motivating and inspiring people to take massive action. And of course, he's talked about a lot about your preparation of your mind. He also teach you techniques of how to do it. And he also have metaphors that will actually help you to get you through a certain experience that you anchor into your mind to believe that it can be done. All right. So the path to success is to take predetermined action. That is what Anthony Robbins shared. And I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I learned in that particular seminar in relation to taking massive action, as I'm going to share with you today. All right. So question here is that why people fail. This is also a subject that we all should learn, so that whether we are leading a team or we are leading ourselves, sometimes we do not know why we fail, right? Sometimes we do not know why are we not doing the things that we are supposed to be doing. So here, number one is that why do people fail to follow through? Why do people fail to take massive action? Number one is that this statistic shows that 92% of the 70 million people that try to quit smoking, fail smoking each year fail. 70 million people, all right, who want to quit smoking, and 92% of them would fail. This is a statistic. So after you read the statistic, you don't give a justification, say, well, I'm not alone. There are so many people who fail, but choose to be a winner by believing that you don't want to be the 92%. You want to be the 8% who really say what you want and do what you say, all right? 95% of the people who lose weight fail to keep it off long term. Meaning, I say I want to lose weight, all right? I may lose weight a little bit. I was just now on the weighing machine, and my wife was telling me that the weighing machine is not working, right? So I said I was so happy. I see a 70 on the weighing scale, and that was my dream. That was my goals that I set for during this MCO, the Movement Control Order, that by 30th of June, 12 o'clock, 2020, I want to weigh 70 kilos. And I was, when I started, I was around 78 kilos. Now pretty good, 70. I saw 70, sometimes 70.6, and I'm very determined to bring it down to 70. All right. So with that awareness, I would start to look at the food that I eat, the exercise that I have to do, the stretching exercise that I have to do. No snacking at night, take less sugar. These are some of the action that I have to really take. But here, this statistic says that 95% of people who lose weight fail to keep it off long term. And this is a statistic that I want to put into my head, that I don't want to be the 95%. I want to be the 5% that really will keep that particular weight and it is, right, 70 as I wish I want to be, right? And 88% of the people who set New Year resolutions fail at their attempts. Many of them set New Year resolution. Here comes 31st of December every year. Some may say that I want to quit drinking, you know, and when 31st of December, midnight, right on the dot, you see many people take up their champagne, their liquor, and start drinking, and many get drunk again. So this is exactly when they talk about, you know, New Year resolution fail at their attempt, right? And of course, only 10% of the population has specific, well-defined goals. And this is actually statistic that is in America. But even then, 7 out of the 10 of them, all right, 7 out of the 10 of them, of the people who reach the goals, only 50% of the time. 7 out of them, only 50% of the time they would achieve the goal. So this is a very interesting statistic, right? And to me, I take this statistic as a learning lesson for me, and I want to look at the other side of the statistic, and I want to be belonging to that statistics of people who are winners, who are achievable, who are achieving great results for their life, right? So now, here you see in these particular pictures is talking about making a change, what we want people to actually adopt is the making change as a must, not a should. A lot of people say, I should do this, I should do that, you know, I should make a change, you know. Chances is that when you say that making change is a should, chances is that you would not do it. You agree with me? Chances that you would not do it. So change is never a matter of ability, it's a matter of motivation. And this is a very important observation, that every one of us have the ability to change. You have to be motivated to change, and we need to learn how to do it. And as I mentioned a while ago, that if change is a should, I should change, the people would not change, all right? So what you need to shift is that change has to be what I call not a should, but a must. So meaning to say that adopt the attitude of subscribing to this, that I must change instead of I should change. Get your team member to do the same. That don't say I should change, but say I must change, right? So here the next particular picture I'm going to share with you here is that I'm a fire walker. The reason why I say 2009 attended Anthony Robbins seminar, one of the highlight of this particular training, 4 days training, is one of the night they will take us out to this hot burning coal that they have prepared for us, you know. And over the last 3 days, 4 days, you know, they have been actually programming a mind to believe that that we can, to build our belief system. And one of the highlights is, I mentioned in the beginning, is that they want to take every one of us to walk through the hot burning coal as a fire walker. So more often than not, most of the people who attended his seminar, you know, if you come back not walking the fireworks, you are not a fireworker, you know, you feel very bad and you'll be challenged to go back there again, right? So can you imagine this, that you see that the crew member, they'll take you out, you know, every night to see them burning hot, burning charcoal, right? Coal, that is hot burning on the ground. And they will teach you about the science behind walking through the hot burning charcoal. They will also teach you how to do it, how to have the confidence to do it. And the last part of it is to ask you to make a decision to take that massive action and make the move to walk through. Guess what? Because of my programming, so I live in a small village. In my small village, there is a temple. And in this temple, my parents would bring me to the temple and to witness many of these spiritual leaders who would chant and start to have this hot burning charcoal on the ground, and they will start to walk through the charcoal. And to me, it is just like this is something only spiritual people can do, and it is not it's impossible for me to do it, right? And when I was young, I also have a very experience of getting myself burned, right? on my finger. So to me, is that when I see a hot red fire in front of me, I have that phobia, scared, right? So, but in this particular seminar, they teach you that it is safe to walk if you know how to do it. And the science behind it is that every coal, as you see, start to burn. Coal is not a good conductor of heat. So it's just like you put a cake inside an oven, right? It really at a high temperature, but when you touch the cake is not as hot as when you put a steel inside the oven and you touch the steel, right? Steel is a good conductor. So that is the concept. So here comes the last day of the seminar. That was on the Wednesday night, on the third day night. They bring us all up there. There are hundreds and thousands of them. They are divided into different groups. It's not compulsory that you have to walk, but everybody are challenged to walk through this particular hot charcoal. And it is really, really hot. And as I see a lot of people lining up there, some have phobia, some refuse to walk, some run away. But the things that challenged me were to look at some of the people down there who are young people, you know. We thought that, oh, young people, they don't fear death, so they are very gung-ho. They walk through and say, okay, there is young people, right? And then come the people of my age that time were walking through, and I was very tempted to do so, but I still take it back and just watch everybody doing it first. And the last part was when I look at the old woman that is 60 or 72 years old, I believe, that walked through that particular hot burning charcoal. And that really inspired me and said that if she can do it, I can do it also. And I garnered enough courage to say that I will walk through that firewalk, and I want to be a firewalker so that I would use that as the metaphor for me, that whenever I feel that I have that fear in my mind, you know, I will start to use that metaphor to make me believe that it is not the fire, it is what is in my mind, how I feel my emotion. And you also see one of these celebrity that is Winfrey Oprah that walked through the fireworks together with Anthony Robbins, you know, and not only her, and there are many, and I've seen thousands of them that walk through the firework that make me believe that it can be done. So the reason why I say share with you this is that it is very important for you to be surrounded with an environment of people that are encouraging to help you to take massive action. Example, if you were to have big dreams and big goals and you take massive action and you share with some of the people, your friends around you, and oh, they were very negative, what would happen? Your dream would be trashed into the bins, right? If you don't have a strong mental mindset to have a self-motivation within you, right? So I'm going to share with you a short clip, just 1 minute for you to watch this live event that was recorded by one of the participants, Asher Ao, which shows a little bit glimpse of what's happening. That time, technology not that good, right? We do not have a very good video production, but just watch this. This is the hot call that we all are all well prepared. They bring lots and lots and lots of this hot burning coal. They pour it down strips. And you see behind the background is that a lot of people will be cheering you up that you can do it, you can do it, make a move, right? And yet still a lot of people, even in our environment, may not do it because even though they are being motivated.
It's not about firewalking, but as long as you're here, you might as well do it. So let's do a practice. Feel your center. Feel your center. Make your move. Make your move. Make your move. Eyes up. Squeeze your fist. Feel like you're walking. Go. Come on. 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 Wipe your feet and celebrate.
So it's just like Derek Chiu, asking us to go on, go on, go on. You can do it. And this walking through is very dark. So the very important things that the lessons that you want to learn here is that this is something that you may just see, you know, someone that is actually going through that. This is not a ritual. This is just an experiential learning. All right, that is going through, and you may be just watching from the outside and say, "Wow." To a person that walked through that fire walk, like including me and my brother, which we went together, Poh Ted Ang, it was an amazing, amazing experience. And actually, you begin to realize that whatever you think in your mind, like meanings will equals to emotion. What does it mean is that we often are driven by the fear behind us, and fear simply stand for the acronym here is that false evidence appearing real, or false education appearing real, or fantasized experience appearing real. So you thought that is going to be hot burning charcoal that is going to burn you, but that created emotion for you to not to take action. So emotion also equals to your life. So if you have a meaning that you put into a certain things that for not having the emotion to help you to get into action, that will be your life. That will be your destiny. So very important is that whatever you do, always find the right meaning for what you're doing. So some people may be talking about, you know, hey, look, I want to build a seer. I want to be a diamond. I need to put in a lot of sacrifice, you know. But sacrifice can be a positive or a negative connotation depending on how you take it. So, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take you through a very important angles as we talk about that. So basically, there are decisions that we make in life, and you're making these three decisions. Number one is that what to focus on. Taking massive action will require to know what do you want to focus on. And that focus of yours, what does that means to you? What does that mean to you, right? What does that mean to you? And the last one, number three, is that meanings will convert into feelings. To understand that whatever meanings that you put into that focus will convert into a feelings, and that feelings will convert into emotion, and that emotion would create a decision that you make. Like, why do I want to take this action? Why do I want to be on this journey with ASEA? It is not easy. It looks simple. It's not easy. And what emotion are you actually creating for yourself to make the decisions that I will never give up. I will continue to pursue that dreams, right? So this is Sir Albert Einstein, who said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and again, and expecting to get a different results. So this is a very powerful quote that challenged me all the time. And every time when I review my results that I'm getting for my life, I will ask myself this question. And I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. If what I'm doing is not getting the result, I have to change. Otherwise, it's insane. It has been said that you get, you know, what you have always done, you know, you will get, you know, if let's say you don't change, you're not going to get any real new results. And the key important things that you got to understand is that always take 100% responsibility for your own personal, what I call results and success, is to adapt to these particular principles that for things to change, I must change first, not my upline must change, my crossline must change, the company must change, the product must change, the packaging must change, this must change, and everything must change except you yourself, right? So the important thing is that for things to change, I must change first. Not going to blame any other people. We are not going to give up, and we got to move forward. So this is very, very important. All right. So whatever you decide would be your destiny. So if you continue to get what you have always, you will continue to get what you've always got if you continue to do what you've always gotten. So very, very important. So next, we talk about motivation. Why are you not motivated to do the things that you need to do for your life? Motivation comes from the two words. Number one is called motive. You have a motive. You have an objective of what you want to achieve. And motive plus without action, there is no motivation. So the key here is that you just have to take a small little step, baby step to take that action. The people that you wanted to call, your team leaders may ask you to call 100 people, and I push my team leader to say send 100 message to invite people to the Zoom call, and maybe 10 will only show up. If you are just to send 5, chances is that none will show up. So whatever it is, if you don't do 100, start with 5 first. Then increase it to 10, increase it to 15, increase it to 20, 100, 1,000. Eventually use a blast one time to 1 million people, like many of the social media gurus is doing with their online marketing, right? So have a motive plus an action. And the important thing is that the desired, and the next thing is that when we talk about motivation here is that find a desire to avoid pain and the desire to gain pleasure. These are the two very, very powerful motivator for you to bring back home today if you want to learn about taking massive action. The 2 P's, pain and pleasure, is what actually motivate and inspire you to take action. If you know how to leverage on these 2 P's, that is the pain and pleasure, you will be able to achieve great, massive results, right? So human being, you know, always have the desire to avoid pain. And human being always have the desire to gain pleasure. So the key thing is that how to take these 2 P's and put in your mind to actually program yourself to take the action needed, you know. Not all the time like having a stick in front of you to coach your downline or your team. Always sometimes use the carrot. So the pain is the stick, the carrot is the pleasure. So we are going to go through this particular principle in the short while, all right? So the next thing that I'm going to share with you is talking about association, all right? Association, taking massive action to change now and massive pleasure to changing immediately, all right? You have to associate pain and pleasure, right? If you what's the massive pain that you're going to associate yourself if you do not change now, right? And what are the rewards, the massive pleasure that you are going to be receiving for changing immediately right now? Have these 2 very clearly defined in your mind to help you to take you to the next step, right? So what I want to share with you here in closing is that it's talking about the 3 steps that you need to take to get leverage. Number 1 is that listen and watch. Listen and watch what is most important to you right now. What is it important to you right now, right? Is it your own personal self, or is it your loved one that is important to you? Is it the possession? Is it your dream? Is it your goal? What is it important to you right now? What are your beliefs about life right now? What are your beliefs about the business? What are your beliefs about building a CEO? What are your beliefs pertaining to reaching out to talk to people to do a presentation? What is something that motivates you towards pleasure? And what are things that motivate you away from pain? What are the things? Like Danny have set his vision board to say that being able to in Mauritius in the 5, that is pleasure, you know. What are the things that is going to create pain for you? To me, like I want to work hard for my family, children education, because for me, it was so painful that when I was young, I was not able to have a scholarship to go for my further education, and it was painful to me. And I see myself, I don't want to have the same pain when my kids, you know, my children will come to me and say that, Dad, I want to further my study. I want to be able to develop my full human potential through education, and I'm not able to provide. So that create a pain. The pleasure is to see them, you know, successful as an individual because of being able to have a good education, being able to be exposed to study in university in overseas. So how do you make decision? How do you make decision? You make decision based on lack, or you make decision based on abundance? You make decision based on positive or negative mindset, all right? And what is the most important, what is most important in your world? What is most important to you? So that's the reason why it requires us to keep on listening to yourself and to watch your action every day. What are you doing? Do you sleep late? Were you in the bed and you don't want to wake up every morning, you know? When you see a phone that you want to call somebody, you take a look at the phone and you put it down again, right? The message that you want to do, the seminar that you want to do, the people that you want to call, the presentation you want to do, were you the one that took it up and then said, oh, maybe I do it tomorrow? Procrastination. Like the books that I mentioned that I want to write, it took me 25 years and it was painful because why? I broadcasted to my friends to say that I want to be an author one day. And many a time when they met up with me, they say, hey, is your big book printed already? Now I can say that the book is printed, right? So next is that when you talk about step number 2 to get leverage. Leverage means that something to your advantage is to ask and associate yourself with something. You ask these 3 kind of question. Pain associating question. Question that demonstrate inconsistent with what is important to them or to you, all right? If let's say I'm going to ask you a question, I want to look at what is the inconsistency. Say I want to be a double diamond and what do you do every day? Oh, every day I only eat, sleep, and eat, sleep, wake up, eat, and sleep. And did you do any presentation? No. Then that is not inconsistent with what is important to you, right? In terms of wanting what you want to achieve. And attending this, I have given permission to direct you to push me to be my accountability partner to say that and check on me on what am I doing every day, to achieve my goals. And number 3 is that pleasure associating questions. So I'm going to cover this very fast. Number 1, pain associating question. Number 1 is that what will this cost you if you don't do it, right? So example, right now, ASEA is my only business platform that I'm building right now. Question is that what would it cost me if I don't do anything about it, right? What would it cost me? And number 2 is that what has it cost me in the past for not taking the action that I should be taking? Number 3 is that what is it costing the people that you love, the people that you around you, the people that you love for you not taking the action, for you being so lazy? What have happened to your loved one as a result of your behavior, right? What is it costing you in terms of your business vehicle like ASEA, your work and your family? What is costing you in terms of you are not doing it? Oh, now ASEA is, we are pre-launched in Malaysia. Guess what? Some people still want to wait for things to happen. Some people don't know what is happening. Some people take action to make it happen, like Agil, who was just achieving the bronze. Congratulations. And what is costing you if you are not taking any of this action? What is the pain? Oh, the whole of Sabah, other people is going to be taking the sharing with people, and eventually it will be even more people. Not all the people that I know in Sabah is supposed to be signed up by me, but now it's signed up by other people, and it costs me pain, right? So these are questions that you would ask. Question that demonstrate inconsistency with what is important to you, right? What does smoking keeps you from being close to your family? Example, like you're a smoker, right? And you know that your family member don't like smoker at home. And every time you see you smoking, they distance away from you. And that is costing you because of inconsistency. So some leaders are very interesting. Some of the corporate leader, you see them who go out in the midst of the meeting, in the short while, they go out and grab a cigarette, outside, they call it a cigarette break, right? They say that I need oxygen, so they walk out and it's costing them something because some of the corporate setting, they don't like this, right? How can smoking make me feel good when you tell me that the company hasn't promoted me because of smoking, because of I smoke, right? So if you know that you have been smoking and the company is not promoting you to another level because you smoke, you got to do something about it because this is not inconsistent to what is important to you in terms of wanting to achieve success in life. Pleasure associating question, like if you change now, how will you be, right? 3 years from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, what would you gain? I will be able to earn passive income. I pay for residual bill every day, every month, every day, or every month. Now I have residual income every week, and every week I see a cash flow coming in, right? I'm far better off than a lot of business people who are out there now struggling because of COVID-19 pandemics right now, right? What will it mean for you, for the people you love, right? Oh, by having success now, I'll be able to bring my family members to traveling to different countries every year and being able to spend family time together, right? Being able to bring them to nice resorts, being able to go to Mauritius to have this diving expedition, right? And what will it give you, right? Personally, or personally, I feel that I feel that for the first time I am successful. I'm able to achieve the success that I want, right? So the last step is that check and ask question to make, if you, more important of all is talking about emotion, right? To make sure that, that you are emotionally associated with massive immediate pain and for not changing, right? And then the massive immediate pleasure for changing now. It's talking about if you don't change, what would be that pain? Ask yourself, what would it be that pain? And for changing right now, what would be that immediate pleasure that you can have? And I say, I know in this particular Zoom call, Agil is the happiest man on earth. Reason is because he just got his rank as a bronze. And when I got to become a bronze, I was so happy, you know, and that give me for the pleasure, you know, for taking the action and achieving the results that I want. And for me to achieve the goals as a diamond, as a founding diamond in Malaysia, that also give me like a shock, you know, that I feel very ecstatic. And I say that I want to be a diamond, I want to be a triple diamond, I want to be a presidential one day, right? So these are questions that you keep on asking yourself and envisioning about it. And if the commitment is not clear, go back to step 1 and step 2 again. All right. So this is for those people who have not started to take any action and you want to take massive action. Take these 3 steps to actually get a leverage for you to move from where you are to where you want to be. All right. So with that, I want to wish every one of you success. Take massive action. Do far more than just the average person out there. Treat your goals and dream and the vision seriously. You know, take 100% responsibility for your results and for your life. Be consistent and persistent in making progress in life. It has been said that success is a progressive realization of your worthy goals and ideals. So the important thing is make progress. It doesn't matter how big, how small your dream, your goals may be, but take a chunk, a small little step, baby step towards realizing all your dreams that you have. Remember, success is a journey. It's not a destination. What is important is not what you get as you move along life journey, but more important of all, what you will become at the end of that life journey. So raise your standard and raise your expectation, right? And the best is yet to come. Always remember the best is yet to come. Your success right now, where you are right now, don't stay it as status quo. Always inspire yourself, motivate yourself to go for the next level, have high expectation, right? Raise your standard. With that, I want to wish you all greatness and success, and I want to pass over the time back